is the syllabus for this semester? Dear students, the syllabus for this semester is divided into three parts or three sections. So the first section is general topic or serotopic. Second section is poem prescribed, and the third section is the novel. Now let's see what is the general topic prescribed for us. So the general topic prescribed for this semester is silent features of post-independent English, Indian English novel. So this is the general or serotopic we are going to discuss in this semester. And then there are 5 poems prescribed for this semester. So the first poem is On Killing a Tree by Juv Patel. So On Killing a Tree is written by Juv Patel. This poem we are going to discuss in this semester. Second poem is The Pardana Scene by Sarojini Naidu. So this poem also we'll discuss in detail in this semester. And third poem is Philosophy by Nissim Ezekiel. So philosophy, the Pardana Scene, On Killing a Tree, and then we have the fourth poem, that is Obituary by A.K. Ramanujan. So these 4 poems, and the fifth is Pilgrimage by Shiv K. Kumar. So these are the 5 poems prescribed for this semester. So general topic, only one general topic we are going to discuss, and that is silent features of post-independence in Indian English novel. And then we have these 5 poems. Dear students, the third section is the novel. And in this section, we are going to discuss in detail the novel we have, that is That Long Silence by Shashi Deshpande. So That Long Silence is the novel for this semester, and it is written by Shashi Deshpande. So this is the syllabus for this semester. So we are going to discuss this syllabus in detail for this semester. Now, today we discuss one poem, that is the first poem, and the title of this poem is On Killing a Tree by Dr. Juv Patel. So students, let's discuss this poem. So the title of the poem itself suggests that this poem is about killing a tree. So the title is On Killing a Tree. So it suggests that the poem must be about on killing a tree. So it is written by the poet Dr. Juv Patel. Let's discuss about the poet first. So Juv Patel is Indian poet, and he was born on 18th August 1940. He is a playwright. Playwright means a dramatist. He is a painter, and most importantly, he is a practicing physician. Physician means what? A doctor. So means he does not belongs to arts faculty. Still, he is a poet, and he belongs to medicine faculty. So he is a physician. Then he belongs to a green movement which is involved in an effort to protect the environment. So the green movement is involved to protect what? To protect the environment. So environment protection is there, and there was a group of poets who involved in that movement, and that movement is known as the Green Movement, and he means Dr. Juv Patel was a part of this movement, that is Green Movement. Then his poems speak of deep concern for nature and expose man's cruelty to it. So means he talks about, or he writes about, the environment. His poems speak about the concern for nature, and he exposes how man is cruel to the nature. How man is cruel to nature, he exposes in his poems. So he has written certain collections of poems. In Marathi, we called Kavita Sangrah. For example, How Do You Withstand? It is published in 1966. Then Body, it is also published in 1976. And Mirroring is published in 1991. So these are his collections of poems. And then he has written certain plays, dramas, titled Princess, Swaska, and Mr. Bayram. These are his three plays we can read. So, if we come to this poem on killing a tree, this poem is a criticism on human cruelty. Criticism in Marathi we call Samiksha. Why criticism? Because human being is very cruel to the environment. So here we can find that human being cut down the trees, and that is the objection of the poet. So poet asks the question, or poet gives a kind of a manual. So the poem appears to be a manual of killing a tree, but actually it is an appeal not to cut trees. So the poet appeals to human being that we should not cut the tree. The poem is about killing a tree. It is a manual of killing a tree, but actually it is an appeal not to cut trees. So now let's discuss the poem in detail. The poem explains the view that killing a tree is not simple, short, or easy process. So means we cannot easily cut the trees. Trees have tremendous strength and great instinct for survival. Trees have tremendous strength and great instinct for survival. So means trees are very strong. They have the strength, but we cannot easily cut down. But now they may be wounded. Wounded, zakhmi hone. They may be wounded, scared, maimed. Maimed means what? Handicap or apang. But they bounce back into life by healing themselves in due course of a time. So means we cannot easily cut down the trees. The poet says in the poem, you cannot easily cut down the trees. It can be wounded, it can be scared, it can be maimed, but they bounce back into life by healing themselves in due course of time. One wonders if human beings can ever have that kind of attitude to life. So means we should take these lessons from trees. We can be wounded, scared, and maimed, but we should bounce back into life by healing them ourselves in due course of a time. So this is a kind of a lesson we can take from the trees. So now let's discuss the poem, what the poem is. The poem is On Killing a Tree by Dr. Geo Patel. I read the poem first and then we'll discuss the poem line by line. It takes much time to kill a tree. The poet says that it takes much time to kill a tree. Not a simple job of the knife. Not a simple job of a knife will do it. Not a simple job of a knife will do it. It has grown slowly, consuming the earth, rising out of it, feeding upon its crust, absorbing years of sunlight, air, water, and out of its leprous hide, sprouting leaves. So hack and chop, but this alone won't do it. Not so much pain will do it. The bleeding bark will heal, and from close to the ground will rise curled green twigs, miniature bogs, which if unchecked will expand again to former size. No, no, the root is to be pulled out of the anchoring earth. It is to be roped and tied and pulled out, snapped out, or pulled out entirely. out from the earth cave, and the strength of the trees exposed. The source white and wet, the most sensitive hidden for years inside the earth. Then the matter of scorching and choking in sun and air, browning and hardening, twisting, withering, and then it is done. So this is a poem on killing a tree. So the poet gives the process of killing the trees. So what the poet says, let's discuss the line by line. He says, look at the picture, how trees are cut down. And look at the title of the poem, On Killing a Tree. Poet does not say that on cutting a tree. Poet says that on killing a tree. So human being can be killed, right? Poet compares trees as human being, right? It is as human being. He says, it takes much time to kill a tree. Means if you feel that it is a very simple job, no, it is not a simple job. It takes much time to kill a tree. Not a simple job of a knife will do it. So you cannot cut the tree with the help of a knife. It has grown slowly. The tree has grown slowly. How? Consuming the earth, rising out of it, consuming the earth, consuming the nutrition from the earth, rising out of it, feeding upon its crust, feeding upon its crust, absorbing years of sunlight, air, and water, and out of its leprous hide, sprouting leaves. So, see now, first two lines describes that to cut the tree is not a simple job. It will take much time. And then the poet gives the process, or he talks about the process, how trees are grown up. He says trees grown slowly, and how? Consuming the earth, rising out of it. Rising out of it means rising out of the earth, feeding upon its crust, absorbing years of sunlight, air, and water, and out of its leprous hide, sprouting leaves. So it's a kind of a process, we can say, how trees are grown up. So hack and chop. Hack and chop means cut. But this alone won't do it. This alone won't do it. Means it will not help. But this alone won't do it. It will not help. But this alone won't do it. Not so much pain will do it. So not so much pain will do it. The bleeding bark will heal. Means if you have only that much, so tree will regain its strength. Means what? If you want to cut the tree, if you want to kill the tree, what you need to be done? It need to be do. Let's read now. And from the close to the ground, from the close to the ground will rise curl green twigs. Look at in the picture. So I have given the picture here. So see now how that leaves and how that twigs come from that tree. Will rise curl green twigs, miniature bogs, which if unchecked will expand again to a former size. If you neglect, the tree will get the former size. Means what? Trees have the capacity to regain their power, to regain their shape. That's why poet says, no, you can't ignore it. You can't uncheck. He says, no, the root is to be pulled out. Root, mul. The root is to be pulled out. The root is to be pulled out of the anchoring earth. It should be pulled out of the anchoring earth. It is to be roped, tied, and pulled out. Look, it is to be roped, tied, and pulled out, snapped out, or pulled out entirely out of the earth cave, and the strength of the tree is exposed. Yes, what will be the strength? It will be exposed. The source, white and wet, the most sensitive hidden for years inside the earth, it will come out of the earth. Means here poet wants to say that we should disconnect the trees from the earth. When you disconnect the trees from the earth, then and then trees will be killed on killing a tree. Otherwise, slowly trees will, we can say, grown up. Then what he says in the last part of the poem, let's see. Then the matter of scorching and choking in sun and air, browning, hardening, twisting, withering, and then it is done. So slowly, if you cut the tree out of the root, then it will be scorching and choking. Means you need to have small part of the wood in sun and air, then its color will be browning. If you look at the trees, when trees is drying, the wood is drying up, its color is browning. Browning, hardening, twisting, withering, and then it is done. And then you can say that we have cut down the trees. So what the poet says, let's see. On Killing a Tree is a sensitive poem, right? The poet highlights the fact that trees are living things. So he says on killing a trees. Why? Because he considers trees are living things, and as human also kill, we can say killing human like that, killing a trees. So the poet equates trees with humans. He conveys that trees should not be cut down because destroying trees is just like killing a human being. Destroying trees just like killing human being. A tree does not die by merely cutting because it regrows. It regrows from where it is cut. If it has to be destroyed, then it has to be uprooted. Uprooted means separate from the root. Then and then we can say trees has cut down. It is a plant. How the tree grows up, he says, he describes in the poem. A plant takes sunlight, right? Water, air, and nutrients from the soil to gradually become a huge tree. It develops a strong trunk and gets numerous leaves, right? So it's a process of growing a tree. Then poet says that it is not a simple job, or we can, it is a simple cut does not destroy a tree. So it will not destroy, it will regrow. Then he says a tree grows gradually. It is rooted in the soil. A plant takes nutrition from the soil to grow into a big tree. The tree is firmly bound with the soil, right? The tree is firmly bound with the soil. There is a bonding from tree and soil. It takes in sunlight, water, and air to grow into a strong trunk and have numerous leaves. So we know that particularly. Humans cut and chop the bark of trees into many pieces, but that is not sufficient to destroy the tree. So we need to destroy the tree means what? We need to kill it down. We need to separate it from the earth. And then we can say that it is killed. The point of the tree which gets cut gives up sap just like a human being bleeds. So it is a kind of wound. If we struck to something, some hard thing, we get injured. So like that, trees also get injured, and gradually our wound heals like the wound of a tree also heals, and from there new branches start growing again. So from that point, new branches start growing again, and trees also grown up. So the poet says that in order to kill the tree, it has to be uprooted. Uprooted means separate from the earth. Then he says that the roots of the trees bind the tree with the soil in pit of the earth. From there, the most sensitive and hidden part of the tree, the roots have to be detached. रूट्स म्हणजे पाळं मुळं जे म्हणतो आपण ते जमिनीपासून सेपरेट केली पाहिजेत असं कवीला त्या ठिकाणी वाटतं. The roots are white in color and are damp. Once the tree has been uprooted, then gradually it withers and dries up with the action of heat and wind. Yes, the poet says that browning, right? So it dries and with the action of heat and wind, and it gets the brown color. The trunk will become brown, twist and will harden. Finally, the tree will die this way. So this is a process of killing a tree, or we can say that how the trees we can kill. So this is the poem on killing a tree. So dear students, I hope you enjoyed the poem. I hope you